So these are the two first exercises. Are these the ones you were talking about? Okay. So what do you think about the top left? Yeah, always black to move. In this series, always black to move. I think all modern Go books standardize it to be black to move, but the ancient collections are kind of mixed, so you never know. And some of the modern collections also like try to challenge you into thinking about the situation and trying to figure out who is in danger, right? To me, it's either like we standardize it or you just don't tell. But some books, like they tell, but they don't standardize. They just put the color you're supposed to use at the top right or something. But anyways, um, what do you think about these problems? Hmm. D15. A. So when you solve these problems, how are you solving them? Through like an SGF software, or are you writing on a piece of paper? Did you print a PDF? Hmm. Oh, you annotate the PDF. So it's similar to printing. Right? Hmm. Hmm. Nice. Yeah, because ever since I came here to Korea and Japan as well, um, I changed my mind quite a bit about like solving these problems with software. To me, it's so much better if you write the answer from start to finish, thinking about the best moves for each side, rather than solving through apps. And because most apps, like almost pretty much all the apps, are very reactive, right? So you place the first move, the app is going to answer, and you go on. So you're not thinking about the best response for both sides. Anyway, just so we're on the same page. But so A, so let's see your attempt here. So if we play A, then white can either play here or play here to disconnect. So it won't work, right? Yeah, and you can't even get a second eye because if you try to guarantee this eye, white can just play here. Yeah, you can't really get the second eye. Right? So this one unfortunately won't work. And if you try it from this side, for example, it's very similar in a way because white can still disconnect you by using this Atari. This Atari kind of threatens both sides at the same time. Um, yeah, you can also just connect as well. So multiple ways here, and even if you capture, it's already disconnected. So white can just play here. You the only move that works here um, is a move that is an Atari, but is trying to also connect your stones. So then you can connect through capturing or just straight up connect. Can you see it? Okay. So here we have how many options? We tried A, was your first option. We tried B. Now we have stuff like C, D, E, which are close to connecting both sides, right? Moves like F and G are kind of ruled out because they are too distant from. E15. Yeah, we can just okay. Why doesn't it work? If you play here, how would white disconnect? The best white can try is this, right? What would you do here? The danger here is connecting, right? White connects. But we can simply capture this thing. Now if white threatens us, we can capture the other stone. This problem is kind of tricky, right? Because it's so tight and things are getting captured, but yeah, it's tricky. But what we do try is like avoid to avoid these moves that try to capture something, but when white counterattacks, white is putting like many stones in danger at the same time, right? So if we play from here, when white's Atari is from here, uh, it's basically only the middle stone that's in danger. So we can rescue this stone. Now we have Miai either connecting at A or capturing the stone at B. Is it okay for this problem? Mm. The bottom right problem is very challenging. It's actually the Suji that's not too far from my level, I think. It appears in some other end game end game problems. Um, it's not easy to see at all. The trick here, P1. Oh, what what if white blocks? Q4 and if white captures? N1. Then white will capture here. Does it work? Yes, exactly. White is in a shortage of liberties. Yes. You found the answer. But oh, the last move challenging because it's a connect and die. It looks like white is going to run away on the outside, so we need to block. But since white is so short on liberties, you can just force a connect and die. But the key issue here is that, well, number one, you can't cut because you shorten your liberties before you take whites, and you can't hunt it from this side because when white blocks, if you cut, then when white captures, you're short on liberty. So what you need to do is like shorten white's liberties from the outside. Then if white blocks, then finally you can cut. Um, White's best move is to actually connect, and then you connect. And this is an endgame problem pretty much for connection. Let's take a look. Uh, the other problem, the next problem. Okay. What were your answers for these? Hmm. C18. Hmm. Guys, the hmm. Hmm. What would happen if black tenukid, at least locally? What would you do as white? Hmm. Yeah, this is an option. Black can drag this stone out, and then later, uh, black has the option of doing stuff like this to reduce the corner. Uh, White would then need to add a move to clear the corner completely. White can also block from this side, and then black could try a call like this, or just leave, um, accept the like the Atari up top, live, and give white a very strong outside. Yeah. So black would like to add a move, but it doesn't mean it's like imperative, but black would like to add a move. C18 is a possible move, and sometimes AI will recommend this, but usually we play the tiger's mouth in this case, and then white Ataris, and we leave it as is. White mostly tries to extend here, but white could also Tenuki, and now black has the option of capturing this stone or white can connect. It's big, but not that big, capturing this. Sometimes it's big because this group might get under pressure. It's not very uncommon for white to get some actions on the outside. And then finally, black needs to capture the stone to make a win. This situation can pop up like this. White tries to invade, black goes in, white threatens to link up, and black, depending on the situation, if black is surrounded like this, let's say, then it's maybe yeah, this is too much surrounding. Maybe black should have been more careful earlier, I guess. If black blocks from here, uh, there is a lot of danger. Maybe white can start from here, trying to link up first. And if black tries to disconnect, then white will live. Black can't really even block. Black can't block like this. There is a cut. If black needs to accept this, white links up, and black is spaceless. So this can be very dangerous. So black sometimes will just choose to block like this. White gets the tiger's mouth, black Ataris, and then black tries to run out. This is kind of an invasion plus an attack. So white stole the corner, uh, partially at least, and his other attack because of it. Sometimes white will connect here. It's probably because if black plays here, maybe white wants to think about other options. Maybe this could be an option. But it's so painful to experience this because this push is going to be sente. But maybe R15 is more important, I guess, sometimes. But getting S18 in sente is very, very big. And it's very important for black to get this Atari in, because if you don't Atari, if you just run out, when you don't Atari, white can play here pretty much in Sente. And now you've lost your chance to get this exchange in. Now if you play here, white won't connect. White will just capture. With that exchange in, Later, if white plays here, you can get this Atari for free. That's a good shape move on the outside to guarantee an IB. So this is how the top left would rise in a real game. This is also a very common pattern in handicap games. Okay. Do you have any other questions about the top left problem? Okay. Hmm? First what? Strange move. Which one? And mm-hmm. What if I play here? Sorry, but if white connects, you try to connect, and then it probably links up. This is gonna work. It's gonna take a while for you to capture these stones, but it works. But whites can drop down, and then if you capture, you still need to link up, right? If you want to avoid the pull. So whites could capture this stone. And if you link up here, mm, yeah, you can link up like this. Like this to avoid a pull. Whites has the option of a pull at least. So there's this. Yeah, this is problematic because of a pull. So there is better. This is really nice. If you get a call, it's already much better than just dying. But there's better. What do you think? Uh-huh. What if white drops down? Mhm. And if I do this, I would do this. If I do this, yeah. Yes, true. Oh, yeah. Okay. And then if I cut, you can just capture this one. Sometimes we need to be kind of careful about the outside, depending on how many liberties we have on the outside. Like, let's say we pushed here and maybe you lost the liberty here, then things can get kind of dangerous, right? And sometimes playing, let's say the position is something like sometimes um yeah, maybe not like this. Maybe I took out too many stones. Sometimes we will try to like make a sacrifice here, like this, to block the outside in center, like this. If we don't have, let's say we don't have that many stones on the outside, but the outside potentially is strong, is good enough. We sacrifice these two stones to get an outside in center. That can happen. Yeah, this is a nice Tetsuji. But and one final question: what happens if I play here? Try to revert back to one of the lines we discussed. No, don't tarry here. Maybe it could be a thing. It could be a thing depending on the outside, I guess. If you're gonna be broken down here, yeah, 99.9% is not a good idea, but it's better, yeah, better to do it too. Okay. What do you think about these? D60 next. Hmm. 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 Yeah. Uh, uh, it, hmm. Answering this move probably depends on the outside, but if you just play here, it's probably good enough. Black can still disconnect you somehow with either this or this. But then you get an extra move at the top. And it kind of feels like black, for some reason, pushed here at a Keima that's really breakable for no reason. And this is usually not a good idea. If you have a Keima like this, you don't want to push here. Like almost always, you don't want to push unless you can cut. If you can't cut, it's better just to not. So this could be an explanation why this is not great, but the other explanation is because there is a better move, of course, and can you try to spot it? So we have like maybe like these three options to start with. Then we can try to think about other. B. Yeah. Do you know? Can you see the issue with this one? Yeah, to cut right away. Yeah, it looks cuttable right away. Even if, for example, sometimes these attachments can be a Tetsuji, because if black cuts and you connect, there's a ladder, right? White dies. But Here we could, as white, we could make a compromise by attaring here first. And then if black captures, we capture it as well. Black's group is not alive. It doesn't even have an eye. This eye is a false eye. And so, and we have a Panuki as well. So black is weak, we are strong, and we don't have to commit to anything. The beauty of the Panuki is that not a single stone is connected to the rest of the group. And this shape is very flexible, very difficult to kill. It takes a lot of effort. It's not worth it. And if black extends, let's say black extends here, then finally you can come back to connect. There's the issue of a ladder, so if black drops down, you can ladder just stones. Yeah, so yeah, sometimes this can be an issue, a ladder issue. Here, could also think maybe reverse back to the same thing. Playing the empty triangle first. If black drops down, then we don't. So that variation depends on our level. Then we don't need to like play here and get our. If the ladder doesn't work, we don't use the liberty as white. We can play this move directly. Still, black can play here, maybe make a compromise. But now, yeah, but now we can just go free. This compromise doesn't look good. It isn't a compromise at all. It's very bad. If you play here, it is sort of similar to your empty triangle, but we forced white into playing this maybe. Because if white plays the Atari, we connect, and it is an empty triangle still, but we forced white into playing a move A that damages the other stone indirectly. It doesn't help me at all. And white still needs to come back to A to protect it, otherwise you can just capture it. So white will probably not want to play the Atari. White will still probably want to play this, and then we can choose how to react. And probably this move is the best way to react. But yeah, the D17 Tiger's Mouth is the answer here. Yeah, we have to be careful about this move. This can appear in a Giuseppe actually. Let me see if I remember. When black pincers, I think whatever pincer, and black tries to cut, when white protects, if black, let's say, tries to drag this stone out, there are some variations, possible variations, where black can do this directly, but white can play this directly as well. And then now if black tries this Tsuji, do the same thing we just discussed, white can apply the same technique with the Atari here, or play this empty triangle, maybe it reverts to the same thing like we discussed. There is another Tsuji here, and that's this move. It's very complicated and very old, and AI prefers this move actually. But that's how it could pop up in a real game. Oh, the bottom right is very challenging. What do you think? That's pretty much a done level problem. So if you can get even close to the solution, it's already pretty impressive. a R1. Okay, and what if white connects? U1, U1, I connect. Yeah, this is the shortage of liberty is problem. I see, you solved it. You solved it. Uh, the trick here is that we have a double falsi here. A double falsi is very bad shape, very, very bad shape, and pretty much means that white has like two liberties less on the outside, kind of. Takes a while for white to rescue these stones. White trying to resist these too much. What happens if let's say uh, let me see if I can think of another tricky move here. What if black plays here? How would you react as white? R1. Play R1, then I will just cut. Sorry, capture. Basically gets back to the same thing. In many problems, if your opponent didn't take the correct move, you taking the correct move for him, for himself, is the correct way. Punish. But in this case, kind of tricky. Here, I think the correct punishment is to play this move. Because then we're kind of like trying to force a disconnection between black stones. In this way, we shorten black's liberties in the connection. So if black plays here, we can finally play here, and black cannot play this move. We capture it. So black will need to come back, and then we block. And black's best move is to pressure from the outside because of the shortage of liberties. And then we can connect. We can capture. It's gonna be a long call, right? Not a favorable call for white, but it's already a call, so it's better than nothing. Uh, White can't really like connect. It's gonna take a while to. White needs to like spend the move first, and then yeah, it's just spending a move is already. White can finish the call like that. So let's do it. Yeah, it's just a call. I thought it was step. Did you get this problem? Or any questions about it? What would you do if black plays here? You two. Yeah, it looks fine. Looks fine. Well, the tiger's mouth looks fine as well. Like this. Just disconnect here. Sometimes this sort of thing can lead to a call, but it's not. And it's like you can even Tanuki once and finally come out. So noisy here now. Let's see next problem. So what would you do? Just taking this. Why did you take this stone? What was the intention behind it? You were probably trying to avoid this sort of thing, maybe. But this sort of thing doesn't really give white an eye, or if it does, there's still the call, right? So maybe it's something you can postpone for now. What we need to focus on is the fact that, first of all, we have a weakness between A and B, right? If white plays at C, white pretty much captures the B stone, and that's 99% safety for the whole group. It's very important to save the B stone. And the D stones, they're connected for now because we can't really play at E, but we can save the B stone while threatening to capture the B stones. Exactly. So if we play here, now white cannot push and cut us. Earlier, if we capture here, white will play in this way, and we even need to rescue these stones. Later, we do have the same pattern here, where we can like get rid of this side, but for now, it's not that relevant. And if white really needs to be safe, white can just somehow capture it here. This, even this, you know. It's better for us to threaten, capture here first. And this sort of move on the second line against two stones on the second line and another one on the third line is very common. It can happen in a very common Joseki, AI Joseki. It goes like this. And if white drops down here, black usually pushes, and there is one variation at least where white can feed directly, or maybe white plays on the outside. Let's say black runs away, white can play here and move out as well, keeping on an attack while taking the A stone, which helps with stabilizing the AB group later on, if maybe. This sort of thing for a technique is very common. Okay, Let's try the bottom right probably. Mm. Oh, playing q5. Mm. Here the difference isn't that big, but there is a slight improvement to q5. That difference can be very crucial in some points. We have, let's try to look at how many options we have. Near the cut, we have, let's say, 5 options. Let's try to rule out some of them. Which ones would you rule out? B7. Yeah, B7 doesn't really fix the cut, right? So we can just read these both Q7 and B7 out. F does fix the cut, but as I said, it could be a little bit more efficient to play something else because it gives us an extra option that white might need to erase. Then we get center back. And that's H here. If we play H, now we are looking next at playing A. Not next, but it's an option for later. And if we play A, maybe we can get an eye around B. That could be crucial if we need to leave it this way. In some situations, we might need to risk everything and slide here and try to live independently with both sides. But if we slide, white can get this Haengma connection in center. Usually this is a very painful move, depends on the outside. In other contexts, we might choose to get a center against the corner first, and it depends. In this case, it's not really that clear if it is center or not, because white can still crawl around here. The best we can do later is to, this one can be a thing sometimes, but if we only need, if we only can the monkey jump, then white crawls and white's gonna hit. So it wouldn't be if we can play this one, the idea is that black can connect here, and if white, in this case it won't work either. White is still strong enough to resist this. White can still connect. If we need to block, then whatever white does on the outside, just gonna die. Oh, this one is tricky. If it goes like this, then it's gonna become a seki. So maybe white needs play here. Then if a block, white will stay. Does white really need this one? Maybe if we play here, then it reverts back to the other variation. And if we play here, like this, then we die. Because we can capture on the outside, right? At least black is this one in center. Can get tricky, but white won't die. Maybe black can get this move in center, like right here, and then get this one something. But yeah, these moves are very nice to know because they can really be legit options. If white needs to answer in the corner, then we can jump away. It's looking very difficult to kill the bottom group. When white cuts here, it's a gote cut. Well, it of course depends on the outside. But if it is a gote cut, then black can get an extra move on the outside. And white doesn't get any. Doesn't get any points with it. Only potential attacks. But any questions about this problem? Nice. Yeah, yeah. It's ugly. It looks very ugly. It's better than the F. Let's take a look at the next problems. B14. Cut here. Yeah, but I wonder if I transcribe this correctly, because if whites just block, can't block. It's this. But you lose the capturing race like this. Maybe you flow in first. At the very least, it doesn't work. I wonder if I transcribe this one correctly. This doesn't look like it's working. Sometimes this can be a Tsuji if you abuse the fact that there is something here. But it doesn't look like it. I think there is a stone missing in this problem. Try to verify here. But if this, how do you counter this move? Because now it's a clear problem for black. White has 5 liberties and black has 4, so white doesn't even need to play here. Oh, but yeah, if white doesn't play there, then there is a shortage of liberty. not really. It can just be here. I think I mistranscribed this one. Yeah, I'll take a look at it again through the book. Let's skip to the bottom right. What if I just play here? It's not even a call, right? Black drops down, white can drop down as well. You capture, but white can just capture it, connect as well. What if I play this? Exactly. If white plays here, there's a double Atari in here. And what if I play here? E5, right? White connects, and we capture here, we're connected. If you do it like this, then white plays here and no. Yeah, when whites resist like this, we need to double Atari. Nice, we found the solution as well. This one is very challenging. Uh, gonna move on to the next one. Let's take a look at what do you think about the top left? Try starting with the ones near the connection issues, right? The options here. E, E15. Oh, option D, you mean? And if white pushes, If by Atari. Yeah. If black connects, um, what would you do now? It's white. It's 17. Here, do you even need to capture? That is a question. Yeah, because if black plays here, we can play this move, and then it's a snap back. So in this way, it's both a connection here. Okay, so D doesn't work. Let's try another move. C16. C16 is option C. Aha. Yeah. Really nice. Yeah. If we push, black connects. If we push on the other side, black connects as well. Yeah. The trickiest one to punish is B. B is really difficult to punish. Can you find a way to punish? And then if black connects, then we can just disconnect this. And if black Ataris, then it gets tricky. 16. And then if black plays here, yeah, you almost found it again. Really on the right path. When I was like at your string, if I being able to get this far, and the key move is to play this move. And black captures, you can finally press from the outside, and it's a connect and die finally again. It's similar to, I think, the first or second problem we tried. There was also a connect and die. Yeah, but this one, this pattern is super difficult to see. Encountered it in a game or never seen it. But yeah, next lesson we can keep on trying these problems.